my hat.
Got to get rid of that.
Yeah. See, need to refresh the page, get that everything pulled up so that we can read the chat because towards the end, you've probably heard in the other streams, I take a few at the end usually.
Yeah. I just posted a story on my Instagram as well.
All right, nice. Yeah, I know I'm late, Drew. He has like 7 messages saying late, late, late.
Yeah. Did you schedule this, or did you just?
I put up a thing on YouTube, like how you can like schedule the live stream.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
I just said 12:30 just in case we went a little late. So
yeah.
So the first question, yeah, Skylar, I know. What got you interested in building in Lego in general?
Well, that's a fairly simple question. I've always been into Lego ever since I was a young kid. I've built Lego all my life, and bought Lego all my life. I even remember my first set. It was like a Bionicle back when I was 3 years old. But
Nice.
I'd say my biggest inspiration for building, it was probably Rebelog before I joined, because I didn't build Mocs before like 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
And it was around the time that The Force Awakens came out. I got really interested in watching Lego Mocs on YouTube and all that, seeing Chris Productions and all those guys building Mocs, and that got me really interested. So it's pretty much those guys, Solid Brick Studios, and yeah. But I've been interested in Lego all my life, and my brother especially has been a big influence on that as well.
Awesome. I've kind of been the same way. I mean, I don't remember my first set, but I've had it pretty much my entire life. So, I mean, I remember when I was younger, we used to have one night every couple of weeks. My entire family would go into the basement and we'd just build for fun. But it's kind of, everyone else has kind of fallen away from it. It's kind of just me left.
Yeah, same. I'm the only one in the family who likes Lego, but obviously a lot of my relatives, and they know that I build Lego, so they kind of check out my stuff every once in a while and all that.
Yeah, awesome.
There have been periods in my life where I haven't been as interested in Lego. Like they call that dark ages.
Yeah.
And those periods were pretty much the times when I wasn't really buying anything, especially between 2012 and 2014. I just bought a few Lord of the Rings sets. That was pretty much it. And then I built something like once every 5 months, something like that. And then, yeah, I got back into it, obviously, and I haven't looked back since. I'm super glad that I do this now. It's a real passion of mine.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really gone into a full-on Dark Ages yet. I'm sure I will at some point. But I've gone into like weeks at a time that I don't play with them or build with them at all. I just kind of am more interested in, because I have a lot of other hobbies. I'm a gamer. I play a lot of games. And just some other different things. I play baseball a lot and stuff. So I kind of hop around from hobby to hobby. So at one point, like when I started D-Day, I'm just like, I'm going to keep going. But now towards the end, it's kind of slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, I get that. When I build Mocs, when I build large Mocs, that is, I end up like not being as interested in the Moc after a while because I've spent so long building it.
Yeah.
That happened with my large clone base that I built like in 2017. I got I lost all interest at that in the end, and it wasn't fun to build. So yeah, I kind of stick to smaller projects now, but I still build huge things. So
yeah, the biggest I've ever gone was 6 gray base plates.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna stick at 4 to 6 gray base plates for a while until I get better at building and more parts and stuff. I probably won't go much bigger than that until eventually I get into different lugs and it's kind of forced to have to build a little bit larger.
Yeah. The good thing about building large is that it kind of forces me to buy parts because I have an urge to like when I decide that I'm going to build something, I'm actually going to finish it, and then I buy a lot of parts. So my inventory has grown a lot since I started doing larger mocks, and that's great, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of hard for me because, as you can tell, don't I'm not old enough to get a job yet. I mean, I'm gonna be trying to the next week because there's one place that does hire at my age. Um, and so it's kind of hard to source those parts, which is kind of why it's taking a while for my D-Day mock to get finished. I probably would have had it done for this month's vote, but I couldn't get it. I couldn't get parts in and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
So go ahead.
I got my first job in 2015, I think. No, 2016. It was 2016. I got my first job, and then I've been working every single summer from then. So I've earned money and bought parts for that.
Yeah. You're in college now, right?
No, I'm not in college. Or I finished university, or not university, but high school, I mean, last year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a year off now and just build Lego and work and yeah, earn a lot of money. So that's
Okay, so it's kind of you weren't able to work that much during the school season.
no, it's not really that, but I've been at school for 13 years consistently now, every single
Yeah.
year, and I'm kind of tired of it. So I wanted to take a year off and travel. So I'm going to Munich in November for Bricking Bavaria. Going to meet up with a lot of Rebel guys there,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to obviously the US in June, and also hopefully somewhere else as well.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
the three conventions that are kind of on my bucket list, if you will, are Brickworld Chicago, Brick Fair Virginia, and Bricking Bavaria. The Bricking Bavaria is probably going to be one of the last ones.
Yeah, that's far away for you.
Oh yeah, I mean that's kind of the same for you and Brickworld Chicago and stuff. So
Yeah, definitely.
how far away is Bricking Bavaria from where you are?
Um, I think it's you first have to drive 2 hours, and then there is 3 hours, a 3 hour flight. So it's
Oh
not that
wow.
far. Yeah, and we're gonna stay at some Reveille guys member's house, so
Okay.
we don't have to like pay for hotel, which is gonna make it cheap for us, so we can go to the Lego store and buy different stuff. Because we don't have a Lego store here in Norway. It's really frustrating. They have one in Sweden, and they have several ones in Denmark, but there's no one in Norway. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
the um
It's pretty annoying.
Lego Star Wars Pro in the Rebelug chat. Remember, he went to his first Lego store trip when he was in Germany.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
mean,
Every single time I go to a Lego store, I tend to buy way too much just because
you
I
can't go
don't.
back.
Yeah, I can't go back, and I don't get that experience in Norway, and that's why.
Yeah, I mean, and I thought it was bad having a Lego store like 3-4 hours drive away.
Yeah, I'd love to have that.
Yeah. What made you decide to start YouTube? YouTube or
Well,
Instagram, that type of stuff, just social media.
yeah. Well, if we're gonna say YouTube first, that was because I watched YouTubers build mocks, and because of that, I thought that YouTube was kind of the main center for the Lego community and the T-Fall community.
Uh-huh.
But obviously, I don't do YouTube now. I barely upload videos. I haven't uploaded since like last year.
Yeah.
In almost 12 months now. So I kind of stopped doing YouTube, but I moved on to Flickr because I moved on from Star Wars, or I didn't move on, but I shifted my focus from Star Wars to Lord of the Rings and Castle.
Uh-huh.
And Star Wars is obviously mostly popular on YouTube, and Castle and Lord of the Rings are mainly based on Flickr and Instagram. And
Okay.
so I moved to Flickr because that's better for me to. It's easier for me to grow there and show my stuff and appeal what I have to others. But yeah, Instagram was something that I joined because I think I found Chris Productions' link to his Instagram,
Oh,
and
okay.
then I just made an account. So that was pretty much it. And then I shared my stuff there, and now that's probably my main social media platform, I guess.
Mhm.
That's where mostly active right now?
Yeah, I'm trying to kind of branch out from YouTube, but I've just kind of, I mean, as you can see, my YouTube channel hasn't thrived as much as I thought it would have when I first started. Just because, I mean, 200 subscribers in 6.5 years isn't probably the best ratio you could have. Um, so I'm just kind of trying to branch out, see what I can do, trying to get as much like the main reason I got Instagram was to kind of bring attention to my YouTube channel. I could
Yeah.
like post pictures of my mock and then have a link to my channel and things like that.
Yeah,
Um,
I reckon that's mostly the reason why most people got Instagram, to advertise their YouTube channel, but it's just kind of grown into become something that is a bigger platform almost,
yeah,
or just as big as a platform as YouTube for sharing your mocks,
yeah,
because it takes longer time to make a video than to take one picture and post it on Instagram. And I don't know, that's how it is for me. I don't have any good equipment to make videos, and I want my stuff to have a high standard, and I don't think my YouTube videos hold that standard,
yeah.
that I kind of want my mocks to be on. And so I just kind of decided I really don't want to make a lot of YouTube videos, and just post pictures instead.
Yeah, which pictures is it's a fun thing to do because you kind of it gives it's a different it's a lot different than recording a video. People think that recording videos and photography are very similar, which in some respects they are, but I mean, there's a lot of different things that you have to know for each.
Yeah, that's
So, I
true.
mean, and there's a lot of different equipment you need for each. So, it's kind of you kind of need to have focus on one, which I mean, I've kind of focused on videoing just because it's kind of something I've enjoyed and I could see a lot more use out of videoing personally.
Yeah, I definitely want to learn how to make better videos, but I don't have a good camera. I don't have a good microphone to record videos with. And um, yeah, especially probably the most important thing is lighting. In my
Mm-hmm.
Lego room, it's below ground in the cellar, in the basement.
Okay.
So it's literally no natural light coming in. So it's very difficult to record a video without making it look like it's filmed in a cave, because it's so dark, even if I
Yeah.
have all the lights on. And that's
Yeah.
really annoying. That's also one of the reasons why I moved on from YouTube.
Yeah. That's something I'm a little bit nervous about with moving my Lego area, which I'm in the basement and I'm gonna be moving in just to another room in the basement. But then the room that I'm in now has a window well right next to my Lego table.
Yeah.
And so
Oh,
there is some natural light coming in, but like the next room, if I moved into one of the rooms that I'm going to be moving into, because I'm going to be moving into two rooms, I would be able to, but it's just not going to work. Some furniture and stuff isn't going to fit. So I'm going to not have that natural light at all.
yeah, that
So I'm
sucks
going to
because
have to put some more money into uh just lights and things like that so I can light my mocks.
yeah, I should probably do that as well, but I just haven't been I've never bothered to do it, but I should
Yeah.
definitely should, because now the way I do it now is that I have um like a large white cloth, and then I have a small light that I just hold up in front of my mock and take a picture of it,
Oh,
and
okay.
then I have to edit away the background and all that, which is very, very difficult and boring at times, depending on how detailed the mock is. And
Yeah.
have to change the lighting, and it's a long process to just Photoshop the images, and then you can
Mhm.
imagine how long it would be if it was a recording, it was a video, or a video with long, or I mean a video with many pictures. So
Yeah.
I usually edit like a few, 3, 4 pictures in total.
Yeah, which is I need to start working on my editing. I don't edit much. Like if you can tell, I just cut usually what I do, I add music, I cut out when I'm turning on the camera and turning off the camera. That's about it.
Yeah,
So I need to start working on getting more elaborate edits in and like transitions. The most edited video I have on my Lego channel would be my Endor trailer. I
yeah,
was just like messing around with the timing of the pictures and stuff to try to match it with the beat of the song and things like that. So
Yeah, that's interesting because if you remember my video of the clone base,
uh-huh.
that does that. Like a lot of different images where it matches up with the sound. The image changes when there is a change in the sound, and it starts off with just a lot of different images, and then it kind of moves on to short recordings, or I kind of move the camera around the mock to show everything, and that's kind of the format that I use when I made YouTube videos of my
Yeah.
mock.
It's kind of a neat way to do it. It's just it's very time consuming, especially when you have a large amount of pictures. And so
Yeah,
you're trying to, and then sometimes I found myself copying and pasting the same song again in. So I had the beat again, so I could start putting more pictures in instead
yeah,
of, because at one point the constant beats just kind of dropped off, so I couldn't do any more pictures following that pattern. And so it's just kind of, it's time consuming. It's not necessarily hard. It's just very time consuming.
yeah, definitely. When I made that video, I think I had about 40 recordings and at least over 100 pictures to like edit and add in and mix and match, and remove, and yeah, all that kind of stuff. So
Wow.
that was a long process. I think I spent about 3 days on that.
Yeah, it's definitely something I need to work on for sure. Um, Everyone in the chat, if you want, go ahead and put in questions for NorLego or Olav, and he will answer, and I will ask him the questions at the end once I'm done with all of my questions. And also, links to both his YouTube and Instagram are in the description down below if you guys are interested. Do you have a favorite YouTuber? If so, who is it?
Favorite YouTuber? Are we talking like Lego now, or just
You could pick one of each if you want, like your favorite Lego and then your favorite non-Lego.
Yeah, I think for non-Lego, that one's easiest because there's this Lord of the Rings account that makes these awesome Lord of the Rings lore videos and such. That's an account called Men of the West. It's not that big, but it's pretty cool, and I like it because I'm very much into Lord of the Rings, as you might know. So yeah. And for Lego, that's a more difficult one. I don't really watch that much YouTube. I check every once in a while, but it used to be like Chris Productions, but he's he's dead now on YouTube. He hasn't uploaded a lot, so which is too bad. I don't know. I do know why he's not uploading, but it's just a shame that he's not uploading anymore.
Yeah, I
But
mean, he talked about it a little bit when he did that big haul building
yeah,
videos or streams. Um, it's just he when he finally had the time to start building, he had to work a full shift on his job.
yeah,
So it kind of was just bad timing because that was when he was finally going to start uploading consistently again, but it just kind of didn't end up working.
yeah. He's busy. He's very busy, it seems. So yeah. But favorite Lego YouTuber, I really don't have one. It's difficult to answer because like I said, I don't watch that much YouTube, and I just can't pick one. I guess if I had to pick one, I'd say Jangbricks because I like his reviews, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of interested in his Lego City. It's something I've always wanted to do, is be able to build just a large Lego City diorama. Like, I wouldn't want to build just small 4 gray base plate mocks of Lego City. That just wouldn't be interesting to me. But I'd love to be able to build like a large mock, like what he's doing. And that's just always been something that kind of interested me personally.
Yeah, I'm really into larger Mocs. Right now, I'm working on a project that's about 180 studs long,
Wow.
and 90 studs wide, something like that. And yeah, it's a Lord of the Rings project. I don't know if you I don't know if you saw that, but I just posted an announcement on my Instagram of
Yeah, I saw it.
of a collab that we're doing with
Yeah.
the others.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, I'm building Edoras, the capital of
Oh, okay.
Rohan.
Oh,
The
okay.
house of, that's an extremely large project that I'm working on right now. It's the most difficult thing that I've ever built, and it's probably I've never had so much fun building, because Rohan is like my favorite thing in Lord of the Rings. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'm super excited to finish and show that to everyone.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Have you actually seen the large Elven village mock on Beyond the Brick?
Yeah, Rivendell.
Yeah, Rivendell.
Yeah, I've
Sorry,
seen that.
I'm not that caught
No,
up
that's
in
fine.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's I don't remember the names of the people who built it, but
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's super impressive. I
Yeah,
think it
have you
had
ever thought of building that scene?
I've never built that, but I don't know. I don't know what if I'm gonna build it or not. I have a few project planned for some stuff that we're doing in the next few months and the coming year. I'm obviously gonna build something for Brick World Chicago, for
Uh-huh.
Rebel. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna build something with Noah, H2 Brick, for Brick in Bavaria, which is Lord of the
Uh-huh.
Rings. So we're gonna do that. Yep.
Something I never knew, it's kind of off topic, but something I never knew was that Noah was part of Schmidt Projects.
Yeah, I know. I actually knew that because uh, I noticed that he said he made like an announcement on Instagram where he showed people that he had joined them. But I never checked out if he's done anything on the account or anything like that.
I think he might have done one, but I didn't know that until I did the I interviewed him, and at the end when we were done streaming we were just talking. He told me.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm
what
not
made
sure
you
what
just
that account
sorry,
is
go ahead.
though. I'm not sure how many is a part of that channel.
There's
I
got
don't
to be
know.
at least 4 or 5 now, at least.
Yeah, I think he's coming to Brick in Bavaria, so I'll meet him there.
Have you ever met him before?
No, I don't know. I've never talked to him either. So
Oh,
I've talked to Noah, obviously, but not the main guy of Schmidt Projects.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
What made you decide to build Lord of the Rings?
Um. Well, I just love Lord of the Rings. That's the reason. I wasn't super into Lord of the Rings before The Hobbit came out, a year before The Hobbit came out, because that was when the extended edition of the Lord of the Rings came out, like in 2011, I think. And my brother got that for his birthday, and he showed it to me. And uh, after having watched that, I just completely fell in love with the universe. I read all the books, The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and
Yeah, did you like The Hobbit as well, or?
yeah, I like The Hobbit as well. Um, it's not my favorite movie. Lord of the Rings is
Mhm.
definitely better in my opinion, but
Yeah,
I still enjoy to watch it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your biggest inspiration in the Lego community?
Hmm. That's a difficult one because I don't think I can single that down to one person. Um, because when I joined the Flickr community, there was so much good stuff there, like for me, in terms of Lord of the Rings and Castle. So many good builders
Mhm.
from different AFOLs around the world. And getting inspired just simply happens when I see something that I really like. And that happens very often on Flickr. When I see a cool castle build or I see a cool Lord of the Rings build, for example, my favorite build ever, like of all time,
Mhm.
is the rendition of the Moc that I'm building right now, the
Okay.
Edoras Moc. So that was also one of the reasons why I really wanted to build that for this collab, because that inspired me. But it's really a lot of different people who inspire me. The people that I follow on Flickr, and
Mhm.
also my good friend Osmond as well. He inspires me a lot when I see his stuff. He's a very talented builder, better than me. So yeah, getting inspired by him, by Noah, and other Castle and Lord of the Rings builders. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I can't really single it down to one person. I mean, obviously there's the few like top people that inspired me to start YouTube and building and stuff, which would be like Solid Brick Studios, Chris and Danny and people like that. Of course, they're kind of on the top, but like building, like what inspired me to build things, I can't really single it down. Like you said, there's just there's too many good builders now that there's not really like those top people anymore that are just like above everyone else.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I think Chris and Solid Brick Studios and Danny and all that, they're really the kind of the, if you say, creators of the T-Fall community,
Yeah.
Star Wars community, because they really started that. And if you ask like anyone between the age of, let's say, 10 and 16 or 17 who build Lego Star Wars right now, I can guarantee that some of them will mention Chris or David or Danny as inspiration to why they started building. And they're really cool people and they're amazing builders. So I totally get that.
Yeah. What did you think about the Clone Wars trailer, and what do you hope they will do with the show?
When I saw that the trailer came out, I was extremely surprised. I noticed the hashtag on Twitter, and I was super confused because I didn't know what was going on, and I just thought it was like a trend that they wanted to save Star Wars and get Clone Wars back. And so I just kind of checked YouTube, the Star Wars account on YouTube, to see if there was something there, and then I saw that the Clone Wars trailer was there, and it was like goosebumps. It was chilling, and when I watched that, I was so happy, super happy, because Clone Wars is actually my favorite thing about Star Wars. I don't know if that's the way it is for you, but I love Clone Wars even more so than the original movies.
Yeah.
The sequels and the prequels. I just love Clone Wars, and that's also one of the reasons why I got into building Lego, because of watching Clone Wars again.
Yeah, it's I was extremely excited. I first heard about it on M&R Productions channel. He was doing a live stream building Anakin's Jedi Starfighter, and I knew something was up with how many like leaked Clone Wars sets came out, or like how many pictures were leaked. And then I heard Anakin's Starfighter was coming out, and I was just like, why are they doing this? What's the point? Are they just teasing us, or are they actually gonna make this a thing? And so when I first saw it, I don't know if you saw Danny's video on it. That was pretty much my reaction.
Yeah, because that's funny, because I don't know if you remember, but Danny mentioned me in the video, because when I first saw it on Twitter, and saw the trailer on YouTube, I messaged it to the Rebel Egg chat, and like Danny went crazy. He went absolute crazy when he saw that, and he couldn't believe it. And then I think he recorded that video right after. So
yeah, I couldn't believe it either. I mean, as soon as I heard the news, I watched the trailer, and then I ran downstairs and recorded a video on it. I wasn't sure. I was gonna make a more elaborate video on it and show like parts of the trailer and stuff, but I wasn't sure like rules on that, and I don't want to become Brick Show 2.0. So
yeah.
I decided not to. But I wanted to make like an elaborate video, like talking about it more in depth and like showing parts of it. At first I wanted to just show the entire trailer, but I was like, I don't want to take a chance with that.
No,
I mean, I don't think anything would happen, because I mean, I've never had a copyright strike. I've had like things that say there's copyrighted content in this thing. I used to put Star Wars music in all my videos. And
yeah,
but that's the furthest anything has ever gone.
I only think you can get a copyright strike if you earn money off of YouTube. If you don't earn money, you can't get a copyright strike, because then you're not earning anything other than like views and such.
True.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Yeah, I didn't answer the second part of the question about the Clone Wars, where I was hoping they would go. So I've read a little bit about this, what the new season is going to be about, and I do think they're gonna. It does look like they're gonna like finish the episodes that they had planned. That never happened, because you might have seen the unfinished ones on YouTube.
Yeah, some like the only one of the only ones I think I saw was the Boba Fett Cad Bane fight.
Yeah, it's a long time since I've seen them, but it did look like they were gonna remake those,
Mm.
and I also hope they um, continue the well, they are gonna continue the Anakin and Ahsoka story, and I'm really excited about that, and I hope they kind of show the transition from the last thing that happens in Clone Wars
Mhm.
till the start of Revenge of the Sith. Like, so we
Yeah.
see when they're going into that mission. I really like those kinds of transitions, and yeah,
Yeah, to be honest, when I first heard when I was in the Ryan's live stream, someone said in the chat, Ahsoka is back in Clone Wars, and it didn't connect in my mind at first, and then when I watched the trailer, I was like, oh God, she's back! What the heck?
yeah,
And
yeah, and I'm super excited to see what they're gonna do because obviously Ahsoka is not in Revenge of the Sith at
yeah,
all. She's not mentioned, so I'm excited to see where they're gonna go, what they're gonna do about that. If she's gonna like leave again, and maybe like if Anakin's gonna think if she's dead or not. That's
I
the route they can
just
take.
hope that they have a plan with it and it's not just like them digging themselves into a hole.
Yeah, because Ahsoka was already is already in Rebels, so
Yeah, exactly. So they
if they
need
don't,
to have something that shows that she disappeared for that long, but then she comes back in Rebels.
and
So, so yeah,
it would also be really cool to see like Ahsoka during Order 66, what she does, because she is definitely going to be like attacked and looked after by the clones. So
yeah.
I really what they do with that as well.
Uh-huh. This isn't one of my main questions, but what do you hope Lego does for the Clone Wars?
Oh, that's interesting. Um, well, the first Clone Wars set they ever made, or one of the first they ever made, was Anakin's Starfighter, the yellow
Uh-huh.
one, and now
Yep.
they've made that. So that was very cool to see. I'm not going to buy it, but it's cool to see.
I'm gonna
But
buy it as soon as I can.
yeah, I think it's out. I think you can buy it right now.
Yeah, I just don't have the money.
No, yeah, that's probably gonna have to get those if you want it. But I hope they remake a gunship because the Republic gunship is probably my favorite Star Wars vehicle,
Uh-huh.
actually, and I've never been able to get it because the 2003 version was also too early for me,
Uh-huh.
and the 2008 version was also too early for me, and the 2013 version I didn't buy because I was in the dark age or mini dark age, and so
Yeah.
I've never had the chance to buy a Republic gunship. So I hope they remake that and so I can buy one of those.
Yeah, for me, the 2003 one, I wasn't even here yet. Um, the 2009 one, I would have only been 5, so that was kind of, it was kind of iffy if I would have gotten it or not.
Yeah.
And then the 2013 one, I did end up getting. But what I hope they do, is do you remember the second Battle of Geonosis, those episodes?
With the zombie things.
Yeah.
Yeah, or before that, before those episodes.
Yeah, just before that episode, there was their main assault on the
Yeah.
droid factory.
Yeah.
I hope they make that gunship where it has both the two doors and the bubble turret
Yeah.
because they've never done that before. It was either the episode 2 version or the generic Clone Wars version.
Yeah. That's definitely something they can do. And I also like the Separatist tank from those episodes, like the really strong one.
Yeah.
And yeah, the ATTE is also one that I want. Classic set.
And the
I've
nice
never.
thing is the last time they did a major amount of Clone Wars was 2013. So they're going to be able to bring these sets back without it being too soon to bring them back.
Yeah, that's
The
definitely
one
also.
thing I beg of them is multiple sets to have just generic Phase 2 clone troopers. I'm begging that they do that. If they don't, I will be so disappointed. Then just throwing in a random Wolfpack trooper in this set, a random 212 trooper in this set. I would just be so upset if they don't have at least like 2 or 3 sets that come with just generic clones. I would love it if they made a battle pack that has 2 of them, and then like an officer and a gunner or something like that. I wouldn't be mad at that. I would be happy that I can at least build an army again.
Yeah, because obviously Clone Wars was almost at least the reason why they started doing battle packs.
Yeah.
One of the first ones was Clone Wars. So I really hope that is that they're gonna do a battle pack. And the best battle pack that LEGO has made, in my opinion, at least the last few years, is the Rogue One version with the 2 Stormtroopers and the 2 Death Troopers.
Oh yeah,
that's a super good battle pack because you get 2 generic Stormtroopers and 2 really cool Death Troopers.
Yeah, I mean, you might not want a army of 100 Death Troopers, but I wouldn't be mad having an army of 100 Death Troopers. Like, it's not something you need, but I wouldn't be mad having that. Yeah. But I am mad when I have an army of 100 Clone Troopers and 50 Ki-Adi-Mundis.
Yeah, that's stupid. I didn't like that battle pack. I
am glad that they chose Ki-Adi-Mundi because they haven't made him in a set for over a decade. Or
didn't they make him for? I think they built him or made him for a Clone Wars set in like 2012, a Geonosis one. I actually think they do. They did because I remember that one.
Maybe was it like the Geonosis fighter or something?
I think it was the Geonosian Starfighter.
Yeah, I thought that was. Yeah, you're right. That came out in 2012. I thought that one came out in 2008 or 2009. With like the main.
Yeah, that's 2012 or 2011 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was planning if those were Phase 2 Clone Troopers in that battle pack, I probably would have gotten at least like 20 of them at least. Just so because of how rare they are, I would have loved to have a lot of them. Because it's kind of annoying in my Mocs constantly having to use 212 or something like or just anything because it's 99% of the time it wasn't a special clone trooper. It was just a generic clone trooper.
Yeah. I really hope they do the same with Clone Wars as they did with Rogue One. Make a battle pack with, for example, 2 regular clone troopers and 2 501st ones, for example, because the 501st ones are super expensive.
Yeah, so I wouldn't even be mad if they did if they went back to what they did for like a year or 2, where they did 2 clone troopers and then 2 droids or something like that. I wouldn't even be mad with that because it's kind of a combined battle pack because I honestly don't think that LEGO is going to focus solely on Clone Wars. As much as I want them to, I just don't believe that they will.
They're not going to do that because of the release of more movies.
Yeah, they're probably going to make they might make like 3 or 4 per wave, but they're not going to make every set just Clone Wars. And so they probably would want to make a battle pack based on Episode 9 and Solo and just different things that come out. So I wouldn't be mad if they did a combined battle pack where it was 2 Phase 2 clone troopers and then 2 battle droids, or a battle droid and a super battle droid.
Yeah, that's also true.
I used to hate those, but in this situation, I think it would be the best route for them to go.
Yeah, Clone Wars was obviously one of the things that LEGO really earned their money from. Oh, yeah. That was a super successful line sub-theme of Star Wars.
So yeah, which is I think partially why Disney decided to bring it back, because they saw how their movies had been tanking a lot. So I think they were like, what was the most successful thing that Lucasfilm did? And they probably saw it was Clone Wars.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I mean, you have to think, not all the money from these Lego Star Wars sets goes to Lego. It has to go to Disney now because the license is with Disney.
Yeah.
So they have to get a percentage of what is sold.
Yeah, that's definitely right. That's true. But
Um,
I like that they're bringing back Clone Wars, and I really hope they make a lot of Clone Wars sets. Not like make some really random ones, but they
yeah.
read the classic ones.
Something that I found kind of odd was how the rumors for the V19 torrent were out, but
Yeah.
if you look in the trailer, there was no V19 torrents.
Yeah, but that rumor came before Clone Wars,
True.
before even the rumors of Clone Wars returning came.
True.
I think I heard about that rumor in January. It's pretty early.
Yeah. Exo Trooper, you're completely right. I mean, $70 for a $20 set is pretty ridiculous. So yeah, they are overpriced.
Yeah, they're overpriced because of Disney, like you mentioned earlier. They take that
Yeah.
percentage. And, yeah.
They're telling, which is something I respect Walmart for doing. As soon as the sets come out, they have been putting them on sale. Sale, infinite sale.
Yeah.
Like my Walmart, they immediately put them on sale, like for like 10% off immediately.
Yeah, my local Lego store or toy store, I mean, that sell Lego, and it is like that in Norway, generally in Norway as well. The prices are even higher than your average Lego price. So if you say a set costs $25
Mhm.
In Norway it's probably $30 or $35,
Yeah.
and we rarely get any discounts at all for new sets either. We have to wait like 3 months or 4 months for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a normal thing that they go on sale immediately. It's just something like my local Walmart. I think they realize they are losing money on Lego because of the stupidly ridiculous prices.
Yeah. And I also found this store, toy store in Norway, that sells cheap Lego sets
Uh-huh.
for sale. So like I can get them for American prices there in
Okay.
Norway, which is pretty insane actually for Norway because it's so expensive here. Everything is expensive in Norway.
Yeah. Um, let's see. What is your favorite piece to use?
Hmm. I have a few favorites to use. As a castle builder, I often use masonry brick,
Oh yeah.
light bluish gray masonry brick. I really like that. And a part that I found myself using way too much and buying way too many of is the headlight brick.
Oh yeah. The
The
one with
my
like the little thing at the bottom of it coming out, right?
It's the one by one brick with a stud on the side.
Yeah, I was just wondering because there's two versions of that. There's one with like a little lip coming out at the bottom.
Yeah, that's the one. That's
Okay.
kind of squeezed a little bit further in than the
Yeah.
normal. Yeah. So I use a lot of that one because I can do a lot with it for walls and just everything. So I think I have about 1,000 of those in different colors, mostly in light bluish gray, some in reddish brown, dark bluish gray, and white and green. So yeah, those are definitely really cool. And then I have an obsession with reddish brown parts. I buy a lot of reddish brown because that's my favorite color. So I
Sadly,
use
I don't.
yeah, and you know reddish brown is obviously the color that breaks easily,
Mhm.
and but I still buy them because reddish brown is super cool, and I have so many rare pieces and expensive pieces in reddish brown that I often try to incorporate into my Mocs. But
Wait,
unfortunately, I don't have.
there's actually like a science that those parts break more.
Yeah, it is true. It's the material, the color, something about the
No
color.
wonder all my plates keep snapping.
Yeah, because I collect all of my broken reddish brown pieces, and I think I have about 30 now.
I
And
have
that
two.
yeah, because for example, if I have a plate that's really stuck to like a base plate, for example, and I use a brick separator to try to get it off, sometimes it can just snap in two. And
Yeah.
I think the weirdest piece that I've that has broken for me is the reddish brown 1x4 tile. It just kind
Uh,
of literally snapped in half when I barely touched it, and that was super weird. And I
the usually
yeah
it's just like the little end piece like the little end that comes off for me. but it renders it useless uh, in for the most part, because I mean it kind of leaves a gap there.
Yeah, yeah, and like
Um, Go ahead.
clip pieces,
Mhm.
like modified plates
Oh yeah.
with clips on them, they also break very easily in reddish brown.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't have
so
many of them in reddish brown. The clip pieces. I need to start getting more pieces like that. I usually just focus my money towards generic parts. Um, like 1x2 plates for detailing, grass parts, mount rock work parts, and things like that.
yeah, I did that first for my clone base. I have bought a lot of those parts, 1x2s, 1x1s, and simple T slopes and all that. And then in the last year, I've bought a lot of like very, very special and new parts that are not that you can't get for cheap and that you can't get in like really large quantities.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my collection is a mix of like generic parts and special parts at the
Awesome.
moment. Yeah.
Um, are you in any other lugs other than Rebel Lug?
Yes, I am in the Norwegian lug. There's one Norwegian lug called Brikkelauget. That's it's mostly an AFOL lug, actually. Um, they don't really have a lot of T-falls in it because in Norway it's not a big T-fall community.
Oh, okay.
I think I know about 10 T-falls around my age. So
Hmm.
yeah, most of them are A-falls, and but you can join as a T-fall though. And I joined January last year, and then I displayed with the lug at the Lego convention they host in Norway in April. I did that. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's see. Do you have any plans of mocks to build based off the Clone Wars trailer?
Probably not of the Clone Wars trailer, but I definitely want to do something for Clone Wars
Mm,
when it comes out. If I still have access to all my parts then,
yeah.
um, because I might start studying after this year or next year,
Oh, okay.
and so I probably won't bring my parts because it takes up so much space. But yeah, I really want to do something from Clone Wars. I don't know if it's going to be something large, if it's going to be something small, but I want to try to do something for it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I might want to try and make like kind of a funny mock for the day it comes out. Like the day the first episode airs, like welcome back, like a clone base, but it's like the clones are having a party or something inside for the continuation or something, just something funny.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's an interesting idea. We should do that.
Um, yeah. Do you have any plan? Oh wait, I just asked you that. What is the hardest thing to do when building mocks for you?
Um, the hardest thing to do. Well, right now I mainly build Lord of the Rings. I base my builds off of Lord of the Rings scenes or places.
Uh-huh.
Um, the hardest thing for me is probably to like make the most accurate part and make the most accurate mock of that thing as
Okay.
humanly possible with Lego parts. And it's a difficult process because I have to like for the current my current project, the Ed Ross mock, I had to find a lot of reference material, like dig up so many images and just have them on my computer so that I can look at it when I'm building.
Mhm.
And it's a long process because for this one I had to sketch, I had to figure out every single length before I started building. So I have like this huge sketch of the house, the base of the house, shows everything. So it makes it a lot simpler, a lot easier to build when I have that. And I also try to figure out what kind of parts I need before I build a mock. So if there's a part that I need more of,
Uh-huh.
I order that. So I have most of what I need before I start building.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
We have one more question, guys. So if you guys have any questions, make sure to put them in the chat so that we can read them at the end, and you can probably get your question answered.
Yep.
What is your top 3 tips for everyone if they want to build mocks like you?
Do you think like Mocs, like Lord of the Rings Mocs, or just Mocs in
Just like
general?
you could do a mix of both if you want. I mean, it's just building mocks.
Yeah, I think first of all, building Mocs. You're not going to get better if you don't build. So you got to build consistently and try new things.
Yeah.
If you like stay within your comfort zone and build the same over and over again, then you're not going to improve. And if you want to get better, you got to do that. You got to experiment and you got to try different techniques. For example, that was I think last year for my first Lord of the Rings mock, I tried Snot for the first time,
Oh.
and ever since then I've pretty much used Snot in every single mock that I've built.
Uh-huh.
I've learned new techniques from not only looking at others, but also experimenting myself with what I can do and with the parts that I have.
Yeah.
And I also think that you shouldn't buy just a lot of different parts just to get better. You should try to work with what you already have. That's for smaller builds, and then eventually move on to bigger builds, and then you can kind of get more parts and build bigger. So you kind of don't go all out on a large project early on.
Yeah.
And I don't know, my definition of large is probably a bit different than yours, because obviously I build right now I'm building a mock that's over almost 2 meters long.
Ooh.
I don't Yeah, so and that's my definition of large. So something like that, I wouldn't have done that a year ago,
Yeah.
or 2 years ago, I should say. When I first started building, I built like 2 base plate mocks or 1 base plate mocks, and stayed within that zone, not trying to build bigger. So I kind
Yeah.
of got that experience first and knew how to build small things and to try different things, and then move on to the bigger stuff if you want
Mhm.
to build big stuff. If you want to build small stuff, try to focus on detail. Super important. A lot
Yeah.
of detail is important.
Yep. Which is kind of why I'm not going too much bigger than what I'm at right now, because with with the amount of parts that I have, this is where I kind of feel not necessarily. I, I'm kind of getting a little bit more comfortable building at this size, but it's definitely not like kind of what I'm used to, because I'm used to building 1 or 2 grid base plate mocks at this point.
Yeah.
But like I'm trying to kind of be able to build bigger mocks, but I don't want to sacrifice detail for size at this point.
Yeah,
Especially with
that's
trying to get into Rebel and stuff. I think detail will impress you guys more than if I built a 20 gray base plate mock with very little detail.
yeah, that's definitely very true. That's something we look after, something that when we assess the applications that we get, we definitely look at detail, whether you can like try different things, use different techniques, and yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna scroll through the chat, see if anyone has any questions, and then we can go from there.
Yep, that's fine.
Let's see. What is your dream mock?
What is my dream mock? Well, I think I'm working on my dream mock right now, actually. But if I was going to answer something else than that, I'd say I'd probably say like a huge gunship, actually, because I love Republic gunships, and building like a mock of a gunship, that would be very cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of done that. I just modified the 2013 one. I took out the holding handle, and smoothed the top over. I made an actual more accurate missile rack on top. Sorry, I hit my mic. And then I made the second closing door, and I put the bubble turret more further up forward to make it a little bit more accurate.
Yeah,
But that's the
that
kind
sounds
of
good.
extent of my custom vehicles.
Yeah, I'm talking like when I say gunship, I'm talking like a really huge one, a lot bigger than the Lego
Yeah, like
set.
a Mayfic
But,
scale type deal.
yeah, but I'm not good at doing vehicles. I really don't like that. I prefer to build terrain,
Yeah, same here.
medieval houses, and rockwork and so on. So
I mean,
yeah,
you can tell that I'm not the best at vehicles. I mean, even my vehicles for the D-Day mock, they're not that great.
I think they're good. I like those,
Oh, thanks.
and
Uh,
I don't know too much about like World War II stuff, but I really like those vehicles. I think they look pretty good.
thanks. The tank I ended up destroying because it wasn't gonna fit in the mock. But which one did I? The Jeep type looking one, the truck or the car. Had a little bit of help building that one. I just looked up on YouTube. I wasn't sure how to connect up something. How to like get an angle right. So I looked that up real quick. But other than that, everything is custom.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I really want to try to build some vehicles sometimes.
yeah,
In the
it's a
future.
lot different than base plate mocks.
Yeah, I've talked to Elijah from Reblog, Peach Bricks, about that. And what's more difficult? Is it more difficult to build vehicles, or is it more difficult to build terrain?
Uh-huh.
And the conclusion was that although terrain can be super accurate and really cool,
Uh-huh.
the most difficult thing is definitely vehicles, like really advanced vehicles.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
that needs more talent
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
The one thing I'm extremely proud of on the Jeep, the car, is how I connected the backlights.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen them close up, but if you haven't, I'll send you a picture on Discord after.
Yeah, I think I have a picture like from the front, but I don't have it from the back.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture because I'm very. When you see it, it might kind of not be meh, but I'm proud with how I filled in a gap and connected the
Yeah,
headlights at the same time.
yeah, and when you say that, I think the most important thing when you're building is that you yourself is pleased with the result.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's the most important thing,
Yep.
and that's how you get better. When if you're pleased with yourself and you're pleased uh, with your own mock, then
Yeah.
you shouldn't really care about what others say.
I'd say I've been fairly pleased for most of my mocks. A few came out a little bit under what I was expecting and wanting, but most of them there was a good reason why I couldn't. Like, I mean, I just kind of overestimated how easy it would be to make the money to be able to fund the mock, so I ended up kind of being under my expectation.
Yeah,
The one I really am very upset with is my Hoth mock. It it was a 1 grade base plate thing, but it was literally just pretty much flat terrain with an AT-AT on it.
yeah, that's kind
Um,
of
and it wasn't even like that was a very old mock. It was only like a year ago.
yeah. I found some images of some like sort of mocks that I'd done when I was like 8 years old,
Yeah,
8, 9 years old. And that was super funny to see how I was building back then because like how old are you now again? 13?
14.
14, yeah. I was not that good when I was 14. And when I look at people around your age, there's so many talented builders like yourself
Yeah,
who build really advanced stuff. And
thank you.
looking at my stuff when I was that young, it's not the same.
Yeah,
It's really not the same. And I think that's great that people start getting good earlier because that's really promising for the future of the community to see that people actually start earlier than what they used to. I don't think this TFL community existed like at this like the same like it did for example back in 2005 or
uh-huh.
2010.
Yeah,
It's really grown the last 5-6 years, and that's
yeah,
a
definitely.
yeah.
It's it's also a little bit easier to get better quicker because there's so many good builders like yourself and Danny, Chris, and just pretty much everyone in like a lot of the different lugs out there. There's just so many great builders that it's easier to learn techniques and things like that. The one thing I hope people do more of is what Danny did, Building 101.
Yeah,
That was the most useful series I have ever watched on YouTube in my entire life. It has helped me so much.
yeah, definitely. I like those series. I used to watch a lot of those. And
Yeah.
when I was trying to get better at rock work, I looked at Anders, if you know who that is,
Yep.
Alclone
Yep.
Productions.
I was just gonna tell you that I used his technique with the hinge plates and stuff.
Yeah, he has some. He's probably the best rock work builder that I know, and the videos that he made they're super great to watch and learn how to build rock work.
Yeah, for sure. While I'm looking for other questions, how did you feel when you heard that the next collaboration back then was the the like castle themed collaboration?
Okay, so I was one of the people who pushed for that to happen because
Oh,
I was in Rebelug at the time we chose that. So I was as a castle builder. I wanted to see us branch out and do something else.
uh-huh.
I'm super glad that happened. I don't think the collab was that successful because we didn't post on YouTube that much. Our main platform was Instagram.
Yeah, I was a little bit upset about that, and I didn't get Instagram until after that.
Yeah, so that I don't think that was the collab wasn't great in terms of how it did with views and likes and all that.
Yeah.
But I definitely think it was a good collab in terms of how good the Mocs were. So
Uh-huh.
but yeah.
Captain Lego Star Wars asks, "What Clone Wars set do you want to see remade?"
The gunship, like I said, the ATTE. I'd love to see another turbo tank that's a little bit bigger than the last one. I have the last one they made in 2016, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the 2016 version, and a lot of the parts about that I didn't like, so I've heavily modified that.
Okay.
There's actually an image of that on my Instagram that if you want to look at that later.
Yeah.
It's a modified interior, at least. The outside isn't that much
Okay.
changed, but it has a full interior. You can fit like I think it's 5 minifigures inside like the biggest part,
Uh-huh.
including 2 in the front and 1 in the back. So it has a full interior where you can have minifigures and where you can have like a small where you can have weapons and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's uh no one asked this in the chat. There's no more questions, but what sets do you regret not buying?
Oh wow, that's a lot of sets.
Well, just like the main like 2 or 3.
Yeah. I'd say that the one that I want the most is probably Orthanc. If
Okay.
you know the Tower of Orthanc from Lord of the Rings, like the large black tower.
Oh yeah.
That one's like I think I can get that for around $400 in Norway right now, sealed, brand new. And that's I'm considering buying it, but I don't know if I'm gonna bother spending that much.
Yeah.
It's and I think also the gunship, obviously from 2008 or 2009, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2009. I also wanted that so much. That's probably one of my that is a top 3 sets that I want that I never bought, and one of my friends have it, but yeah, it's completely destroyed, so I'm not going to buy it from him. So that's also one of the reasons why I'm hoping they make a new gunship.
Yeah.
And the last one is the Trade Federation MTT.
Yeah.
The 2008 one.
Yeah.
I remember I really, really wanted that for Christmas that year. That was like at the top of my list.
Yep.
And I didn't get it, but I got the Obi-Wan's Starfighter with the hyper boost, or the
Okay.
hyper drive boost ring thing, and all that. And although that's a cool set, I still really want the MTT. That's a really cool set.
Yeah. I'd say probably my 3 would be being reasonable, like not old sets that I wouldn't have been able to get at the time. I'd say probably the 2015 Turbo Tank.
Yep.
It wasn't as good as the older versions, but like I said, I'm just being reasonable. I wouldn't have been able to get it back then at that time. Probably either the 2008 or 2013 ATT and the ATOT and Dropship.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a great one.
If that's the one thing that I've been tempted to save up for and buy, but I don't feel like spending $1,100 or $1,000 on it.
Yeah, it's
They're
expensive.
sealed on eBay. I've seen some go for $3,000. It's insane.
Yeah.
Which makes me just like, I don't even want to think about the UCS Millennium Falcon in 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
It's already almost $1,000.
Yeah.
Let alone in 10 years, they'll probably be selling for $5,000, $4,000.
Yeah, and I looked at the Cloud City set a few days ago, just for fun, checking out the price, and I think that's also a little over $1,000.
Yeah,
and that's not even a very good set. That's just old. That's just an old set with a cool Boba Fett.
Yeah. I mean, I can also see the new micro scale Hogwarts set would probably get up there too.
Yeah,
because that's the second biggest set if once it comes out.
Yeah, it is. It's super large. I don't know if I'm gonna buy the minifig version or if I'm gonna buy the micro scale one, but I'm definitely getting one of them.
You might hate me for this, but I've only actually seen the first Harry Potter movie.
The first one?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hate you for that, obviously.
It's just something I've never been interested in watching, never wanted to watch.
Yeah, I get that.
It's just kind of like it's a bunch of people waving wands.
Yeah, it is like that if you're not interested. But if you do like me and watch movies and stuff while you're building, I recommend you watch them, try to see them.
Yeah. Let's see. Captain Lego Cash. I think he meant Captain. What is your worst talent as a builder? I wouldn't word it like that, but rockwork, terrain, water, explosions, bases, and so on.
Yeah, I kind of touched this earlier. I'd say vehicles probably is something that I don't like to build. It used to be houses as well, just like regular houses, but I moved on from that. I've tried to build several houses for the Brie collaboration that me and Northern Lego did. So I got some experience through that, and then I built several houses since then, like different watchtowers and rounded towers and watchtowers and just kind of different stuff. A pirate hut as well.
Yeah.
So, like I said earlier, if you try to build something new and move out of your comfort zone, you get better at it eventually.
Yeah,
and I might do that for vehicles as well. Just kind of try that to see how I am, because I've never.
I'll also send you a picture on Discord of my first ever attempt at a vehicle. It was in my first mock ever.
I don't think I remember that you sent it, but
no, I didn't. I will though.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's great.
Okay, that's a little ironic. Exo Trooper, before we started talking about Harry Potter, just said, "I'm going to go watch some Harry Potter."
Funny thing, I'm going to watch Harry Potter afterwards as well.
Sadly, you came right towards the end.
Yeah, because I watched the first 3 movies earlier, yesterday and today. So I'm going to watch a few more while I'm building.
How many are there?
There's 7 books, but there's 8 movies. The last one is split into.
I thought there was 3.
No, there's 8. There's 8 movies. So
yeah, I was a little off.
Yeah, it's a lot of content.
Yeah.
That's the same with Lord of the Rings as well. 3 movies amount to 12 hours.
Yeah. Wait, they're 4 hours each?
The extended editions are 4 hours.
I thought they were like 2.5, 3.
No, that's also funny because the cinematic versions, ones that were released in the cinemas, were also like over 3 hours. That's very unusual for movies to be
That
2 hours long.
probably was like a movie theater's worst nightmare, to be honest, because that's less tickets that they can sell.
Yeah, but I don't think that was a problem for Lord of the Rings. Obviously, that's one of the
Yeah.
most successful movies ever. And I don't know if you know this, but the last Lord of the Rings movie, The Return of the King,
Uh-huh.
it has joint most Oscar awards.
Oh wow.
Actually, it has 11 Oscar awards. It won all 11 the same year, which is pretty
Awesome.
incredible. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna end the stream here, guys. Thank you
Yep.
guys all for coming. I had a lot of fun talking with Olav. Learned a lot, and yeah, definitely go ahead and click the links down in the description to go to his YouTube and Instagram. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Goodbye.
See ya.